As we go through our day, often we triggered into different states. Could be anything from fear to anger to irritation to whatever the state is, really. And of course we like the states that are positive. We like it when we triggered into a positive state. When something in your life happens where you triggered into a state of happiness or calm or peace or joy or excitement. These are really nice states, and we hold on to those states. But when we are triggered into the negative states like anger and fear and frustration and irritation and those sort of states, we don't like them so much. And so what we do is we tend to resist them. Either way, if you are holding on to a positive state or resisting a negative state, either way what you're doing is you're blocking the flow of energy. And emotion is just energy in motion. Emotion is how we experience energy moving in the body. But when we hold on to certain experiences or we resist others, we block that energy. And it stays there until the next thing triggers it. And so what happens is we get triggered each time, but each time we resist and each time we hold on, there's more energy to trigger. See, a trigger can't do a hell of a lot. Trigger on a weapon can't do anything unless there's an explosive charge. And so the more we trap and store and block that energy, the more energy there is to trigger, and the more explosive it becomes over time. There's another way out of this, because most of the time what we tend to do is we then tend to focus our attention out there. We tend to look at the thing that triggered us, the person that triggered us, the situation that triggered us, and then we spend all of our energy working to develop strategies and ways to manipulate life and people to stop triggering us. We try and control people. We try and control how life shows up so that it doesn't trigger us into those states. And sometimes we can be quite successful at this. And that would be perhaps an example of somebody who's living a fairly happy life because they've become successful to some degree in managing the triggers. But this isn't really where freedom exists. This is not freedom, because we are still enslaved. We're still victims of those triggers. And should that trigger get fired, we are triggered into that same state. A far better way, and certainly the path to freedom, is to direct our focus inward, not outward. And rather than trying to control the thing that triggered us, rather to ask ourselves, what in me got triggered? What is the belief? What is the story? What is the thought that got triggered in me? What's the program in me that got triggered that I need to let go of? And then we work at letting go of that story or that program or that belief. And the more we let go, the more we allow that energy to move. And now that energy is no longer trapped there. And the more we let go, the less there is to trigger. And so now we become free because we're not enslaved by what might happen out there. And that's always the choice we have. To direct your energy out there and try and manipulate and control the things you can't control, but we'll do it anyway. Try and prevent ourselves from being triggered. Or to focus inward and ask yourself, what do you need to let go of so that that thing out there no longer triggers you?